Michael Nagy here with Jiggy Jag TV and DiscoveringBands.com. And for everyone watching who shares video on my channel and help support the awesome bands I feature. And today I'm here with Raygun Romance. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Just again trying to balance my phone.
It's all good.
But no, I'm good, dude. Just hanging out. I was just actually practicing some Powerman stuff. Getting the guitar in my hands again for the first time in forever, and because we got some tour dates coming up, so I was working on that. But yeah, I'm doing good, man.
That's exciting. Yeah, I've seen you with Powerman a couple times.
Okay, right on, dude. Did I hope I was nice or said hello or something.
Yeah, no, you're cool.
Okay, right on, man.
Now I want to start off and say with being, guitarist in Powerman 5000, what also made you want to start this project of Raygun Romance?
Well, because I just hadn't done anything creative in a while, because I just play live in Powerman, it's pretty much Spider's creative baby. So, I just hadn't done anything live, or I hadn't done anything original and creative in a while. And I was just kind of like getting that itch, and I was getting really inspired by a lot of electronic stuff that I'd always liked, and some new stuff that I was finding out about at the time, like that band Nightclub, and like that was one that kind of, I don't know, pushed me in that direction a bit. Plus some stuff I just always liked, from your Julian Case, your 80s synth-pop stuff to goth industrial stuff and whatever. So I just had this itch to do something more electronic based, and so I had some demos that I'd been kind of just sitting on for a while, and I started kind of finishing them, and that sort of was the birth of it, like a couple of years ago. So yeah.
Awesome. Speaking of Nightclub, I'm a big fan of them myself. Great band.
Yeah, super rad. Totally rad, for sure.
Now, I noticed you do a lot of collaborations with the band. Is that a big part of your project?
It was at first, for sure. Absolutely, yeah. Because when I first started it, I was just making music demos, like instrumental stuff. I didn't really have a singer per se. When I and then I approached this girl Natalie that I'd known from the MySpace days, and I said, "Hey, I've got this project I'm starting. Would you be interested in singing on it? I've got these 6 songs," and she was kind of like a hired gun for that first batch of songs. And as those came out, I started just through way of friends of friends and whatnot. I started getting some other guest vocals on there too, and so that was just that wasn't planned. It just sort of happened as it was, going along, like Daniel Graves, like Ryan Shuck and Sammy Dahl and that kind of thing. So yeah. So when it first started, I put out those first 6 songs. It was like the first year of it, and then after that, I just kept going and creating, but I didn't have a singer anymore. So I started kind of reaching out after a while to just people I liked and seeing who'd bite, and that's how the Danny Blue one came along, and then the most recent one with Clint Carney. But also, I'll try to put this in a nutshell, but also in doing that, those kind of came out of the last bit of songs that I didn't have vocals for yet. And once those were in between the time those, were done, and when they came out, I started singing stuff myself and decided to kind of become the face and voice of it. So I know it's a little confusing if you're following it, but yeah, I had those collaborations from the past, and they just kind of recently came out. But from here forward, it's going to be me singing on it, Yeah.
The latest single you just released with System Sins, amazing, Sea of Stars. You want to go into some details about that song?
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, again, like I said, that was something that I'd made that demo like last summer 2020, and I just had all this music I was making, and I was really excited about it, but I had nobody to sing on it. And I was listening to System Sins' latest album, and I was like, shit, I should just reach out to him. I didn't know him that well or anything, and I just shot in the dark, and I emailed him, and he hit me back almost immediately and was like, I'm totally down. This sounds great. And I was super pleasantly surprised. It's like, hey, I got this going on. So I'm busy for the next month or so, but I'll get on it ASAP. And then sure enough, as soon as he had the time, he knocked it right out. And then I was like, dude, I'm interested in doing a video. And it just so happened that he lives close by to me. So he was like, yeah, we can just shoot it, you know, in my apartment. And so he shot and directed all that and edited it. And yeah, man. And it finally just came out, you know, this last month. So, but that was done like at the end of last year, you know, so.
Wow.
I'd been sitting on it for a while, but his schedule and we were trying to coordinate schedules to put it out and stuff. So yeah, it's finally out there and I'm happy with it, man. Yeah.
Great song.
Yeah. Thanks, dude. Thank you.
It's interesting too. Some of the collabs you almost made the feature almost the star of the song in a way.
Yeah, because like I said at the time, especially that one with Clint and the one with Danny Blue. When I made the original music for it, I didn't have anybody to sing on it, so I was just kind of like, hey, you want to put some lyrics and vocals over this, and basically it was like, you know, yeah, they're the star of that one, you know, so to speak. So that's how those two came about. Same sort of circumstances, yeah.
So if you did any more collabs in the future, do you have some artists in mind maybe you'd like to work with?
Off the top of my head, not at the moment, but I'm of course open to it. I've really focused on putting my own. I've been so wrapped up in writing music and putting my own vocals on stuff, and that's kind of been taking all my focus. And I've got like a good 3 or 4 songs that are ready to roll that I'm going to be pushing out as singles. So that's kind of where my focus has been. But I'm open to doing another collab for sure, you know. Yeah.
And would you ever play live, or is it more of a studio project going?
It started out as a studio thing, but now that that I'm, you know, doing the vocals on most of the stuff that's going to be coming, or all of it, you know, I'm more looking at, okay, I'd like to do this live at some point. You know, I'm not exactly sure how that would look or what that would entail. Is it going to have a real drummer? Is it just going to be me and a keyboard player, or some dude with a laptop? You know, I'm not sure, but I'm definitely wanting to do that at some point. You know, when or exactly, like I said, how it's going to look is I'm not totally sure just yet, but eventually that I want to get to that point. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. And I want to ask, how do you balance your time with doing this project and Powerman? Do you work on them together, or do you try and separate your time for each?
Well, up until recently, yeah, I just would, you know, if Powerman had stuff going on, that's what I would focus on. And then in between, I would do my Raygun stuff. And then, but this last, you know, since everything shut down and nobody was touring for over a year, I was just all about, you know, I was just writing as much music as I could and trying to, you know, get the momentum going on the project, you know, as much as I could. But I feel like at the beginning of this year, and with the newer singles and the newer collabs and some videos coming out, like I've been able to finally start getting it, you know, getting it some momentum. I mean, it's not a ton, it's not as much as I'd like, of course, but I'm working on it, man. So that's been, yeah, I've been really focused on that this whole last year and a half. And then just recently, it's like, okay, Powerman tour is coming up, you know, in like a month or so. So I gotta focus on that now for a minute, you know. At least practice, you know what I mean? Because I hadn't at all. Like at all. Yeah, so.
I like how you put a lot of effort into the videos, because the visuals are pretty important for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that's something that the project was like lacking big time for like up until just this year, you know, and I was dying to do videos, and it got to the point where I was just either I would ask people to do something and they wouldn't get back to me, or they'd just be flaky, and it was all, you know, I was always chasing somebody around to do it. And then I finally was like, you know what? I'll just fucking figure out how to do it myself. And I asked around, and people were like, dude, you can do great videos with your iPhone. And I was like, no way, no way. It'll look like garbage. And sure enough, dude, I did. And the one I did, the first one I put out, it was that cover, that song Naked, and it was a cover. But I did that with my iPhone, and my girlfriend, she filmed it, and I just edited it, and that was it. And then, so any of the ones where I'm singing that I've put out so far, I just did with my phone, man, and just edited it on a computer, and wham, bam. So now that I have that power, I'm like about it, you know, like, so, yeah.
Wow, technology is amazing. You'd never know that was made from on the phone.
Yeah, no, exactly, dude. I'm like, I can do this with my phone. Like, holy this is crazy, you know, like, wow. So, yeah, it's been very cool. Yep.
And when can we plan for another single to come out?
Well, actually, I just booked a spot to do a video next weekend. So I'm hoping, I mean, I've got songs ready to roll. I already know which one's coming next. I was just a matter of getting the spot together for a video, and so that's coming next week. We're gonna shoot it. So I'd say within the next within the next month there'll be another one coming. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Now, if people want to look you up online, find your music on social media, how do they do that?
Just search Raygun Romance on Instagram, Facebook. Facebook's not. It's usually just me on my personal page. I mean, I have if you just search Raygun Romance on all these platforms, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, you know, the usual suspects, it's there. Yeah.
And how did the name Raygun Romance come to be?
I was just trying to make a cool name that had sort of something futuristic and kind of sexy-ish. That was my thought. I was like, what would that sound? And then it just popped into my head, and I was like, okay, somebody's probably already got it. You know, like, I started Googling, and I was like Googling that name, you know, Raygun Romance Band. And sure enough, I didn't find anything. So I was like, fuck it, I'm rolling with it. You know, yeah.
And do you plan to continue this similar style of music for your newer material, like the synth-pop style?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, like I said, I've got, you know, I'm always sort of like trying to, you know, write as much music as I can, but I've got like 4 or 5, mostly 4 ready to roll, and they're all, yeah, very much in the same like synth pop, that sort of a little bit of a dark wave thing, I guess, but I would say electronic rock synth pop kind of thing for sure. Yeah. Yep.
Very surprising just how Powerman's so totally different, being that metal vibe and the synth pop vibe. It's very interesting.
Yeah, no, and that it's cool because like the Powerman thing, I'm able to get out my like guitar, heavy rock kicks, you know, and do that sort of thing. And then this is like this whole other side of me that I'm a fan of and love, and I love those styles, and like I hadn't expressed quite in such a way yet, and so it's really satisfying, man. Yeah.
I like the project a lot, so I'm looking forward to seeing the future of it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was great having you on and talking with you, and everybody look him up.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you having me, and yeah, if you haven't checked out the songs on Spotify or seen the videos on YouTube yet, by all please check it out. I'm just trying to get people aware of it and, you know, promote it as best I can. I mean, it's a one-stop shop. I don't have like a manager or PR or any of that. It's just me like, hey, listen to the stuff, you know, for the time being, at least.
Well, for everyone watching, I'll link the music in the video description, so check that out.
Right on, man. Thank you, dude.